might be an outlier feat, but it's when G Daddy and the rest of the Skibbities basically negative diffed the government.
Holy, this is a bad start. You're already committing a non sequitur fallacy. Just because you see military vehicles and soldiers does not mean that's the entire US Army. That's a stupid argument.
The first real feat that I consider is G Daddy using his plasma beam laser eyes, whatever you call them, to destroy a building. Now, this feat is kind of complicated and it can go from small building level to town level because if it's pulverization, then it's just building level. But if it's actually like vaporization or incineration, it can go to town level. Reason being that those two things take more, like way more energy than just pulverization. And the reason I say that this can be a possibility because we don't see any debris, and all we see is a black cloud of smoke, which could be considered vapor, could be not, but I think it is. This feat is really important.
This is actually a small building to building level feat. I do not know where you get vaporization because it's not even implied that this toilet or G Man was able to vaporize the entire building.
Propels the Titans too because it is stated by Boom that one Titan is stronger or can be equal to G Daddy, which is crazy to think about. So each Titan is like town level, or maybe even large town level.
Hitchens Razor automatically. You never show the exact scan of where the fuck Boom even stated that in the first place.
Titan TV man is cracked. Basically, he can like know this, the mech scientist, which is crazy because both Titan cameraman and Titan speaker man struggle with that, but like with each other. So him just no dipping means he's better than both of them combined, which can propel him to like high town level or even large town level.
Well, the mech scientist is actually not large town level to high town level. It's actually mostly below multi city block plus level because he was able to barely, or I should say, mid diff Titan cameraman and Titan speaker man, who were also heavily weakened by a multi city block plus level attack.
It definitely propels Juggy to large town level because he low to mid diff Titan TV man. Basically, if you don't think that G Daddy's feat of destroying a building is vaporization, then the characters just sit at multi-city plot level.
Where are you even getting vaporization? Literally, the only way for this to be vaporization if it's stated in the exact source material or aka the canon series, which it hasn't, so we're dismissing this entire claim as Hitchens Razor because you cannot provide basic proof of how this is vaporization or showing that this is actually vaporizing.
Or like town level for some of the high tiers. But one reason that they are town level is something we like to call kinetic energy, which plays a huge role. We see Detainer use like mini warps to ram G Daddy, and that can be considered town level. And like G Daddy tanks them. He's like only annoyed by those attacks.
Let me just re-show the exact same scan I used to debunk the kinetic energy statement. Credits to my friend who actually did this.
And the Titans too, because their weight and their speed, that's being able to outfly helicopters, which at that speed or 180 miles per hour means their kinetic energy is also high, but they like don't ram people with their bodies. They
I just debunked this, so we'll just go on to his next claims.
instead use their weapons, so their weapons should be considered a higher. if you still don't think they're at least multi-city block level, G-Man, like in episode 20-ish, he literally tanked a city block level explosion.
This isn't a multi-city block level feat because, for one, you don't provide the calculations, so we're just going to dismiss this as Hitchin's Razor. And also, in the exact same scene, it literally shows none of the environment was damaged.
So there. Next we go to the Astro arc, which has insane feats. Well, not that insane. We get like another, like an upgrade orbital camera and the first orbital camera to do a city block level explosion, and the Astro interceptors can actually tank this.
Okay, we're going to dismiss this entire claim as Hitchin's Razor because he cannot provide the calculations or the explosion.
And I just want to speak about the Astro troops because they can tank two RPGs, and an RPG can like destroy walls. So an Astro troop can tank this with like minimal damage.
Okay, you literally just downplayed your whole entire multi-city block level argument.
So they should be considered small building level.
You literally just said this was a wall level feat, so I do not know where you got small building from.
So, which is crazy because Cameraman 2.0 are like wall level. So they grew 50 times stronger because
Hitchin's Razor, again, this man cannot show proof that they got 50 times stronger.
in the Astro arc, the Cameraman 3.0 can actually fight like it can fight really well against these Astro troops.
Okay, you literally just downplayed your entire argument, literally again for the second time right now.
The Astro Specialist should be above the Astro Troop, and we see that the mutants can easily take out the Astro Specialists. So there should be like building level special.
No, just because you low diff someone does not mean you scale literally to another tier. It just means you're the exact same tier.
Considering they can actually annoy Titans. Another thing is they can hurt Interceptors, which is really impressive considering their city block level or maybe a little bit higher.
Okay, for one, they needed tools in order to perform that feat to annoy the Titan cameraman. And also, how in the world did you get multi-city block plus level? Literally, because you literally just said that they're wall level.
Another thing is Polly also killed an interceptor, and he also crashed into a building like G Daddy, and also threw the head of the interceptor into a building that caused it to explode. I think that's definitely not vaporization, but he's definitely at least at a block level.
Just because you crash into something or die by crashing into a building does not make you building level. I do not know how the fuck did you make that argument.
The reason why the Cameraman 2.0 or wall level is because they can survive being thrown off multi-story buildings, getting shot by bullets with minimal damage, walking through fire, and also just punching cracks into walls.
Okay, you literally just contradicted everything you just said, literally right now.
Anyway, going from the low tiers, we go to the Astro Destructor, which rams Titan TV Man, and he has like multi-city block level kinetic energy, which is another example of town level. Also, we see some missiles that are being used.
I literally just debunked this, so we're just gonna move on to his next arguments, which are gonna be asked.
For the Skibidi army, we don't exactly know what their yield is, especially considering they don't make that big of an explosion. Maybe at most multi-city block.
You just did a Hitchens razor fallacy again because you literally said you cannot provide proof.
But Yeah, maybe they're town level.
Hitchens Razor, literally again.
Yeah, kind of stretch. Anyway, I don't use the Astro warp speed in kinetic energy because that's travel speed, and unless it's actually used as an actual attack, it shouldn't be considered in scaling. But it is good speed since they can literally cross the actual horizon in only 1 second, and so the horizon from somebody at the ground would be like 3 miles away, which is hypersonic speed.
Okay, the Astro Scorpion is arguably the fastest Skibbity Toilet character who had the literal top speed of Mach 1.8. There is no way, and I'm so confused on how you got hypersonic. And also, you never showed proof that they moved across the entire horizon, so Hitchens Razor again.
The last speed we had is the best one, which is which is the Astro Mothership blowing up an entire mountain in like a really short time, which is like I can't even describe how crazy that is.
Actually, no, it didn't even fully destroy the entire mountain. It just blown up a small chunk of it. This feat was calculated to be large town level. Yeah, that's pretty bad. The highest wink we ever gotten was literally mountain level.
According to this post, Titan Cameraman is at least 90 meters tall.
Okay, the biggest issue is there isn't an official height or weight class, so we can just chop this up as a hypothetical.
Okay, let's assume his length is about a third of that, so with 30 meters, and his width is about half of that, so 15 meters. That equals 40,000 meters in volume. Using the density of tungsten, his mass is about over 700 million kilograms. Now, the Tainer rammed G-Man with an insane speed. So let's calculate. G-Man is about 90 meters tall, and the area looks like it could fit two G-Men, so one 80-meter area. He crossed that area in three frames, so 1/10 of a second. So his speed is 1,800 meters per second, which is hypersonic.
I literally already debunked this, so moving on.
Now we plug in the speed and then the mass, and let's half it by 2 because the Tainer is smaller than Titan Cameraman, just to be sure. We get about 150,000 tons of TNT or 150 kilotons, which is large town level and is about 3 times the power of the SAR bomb.
First of all, I already debunked this, so moving on. Second of all, literally the Sarbama was calculated to be large mountain level or potentially even higher. Third of all, your arguments were pretty stupid, I'm gonna be honest. You literally a toddler can debunk that.
Keep in mind that this only annoyed G-Man.
No, it didn't. He's pretty shown to be taking damage.
This only knocked his glasses off, so his real durability is about double this, so 300 kilotons.
Just because you survive something does not mean you're double that.
This also makes sense narratively, as the Titans and the toilets should be narratively stronger than the modern U.S. military or any military, since they're using high tech.
Okay, you just committed a non sequitur fallacy. Just because they have more tech does not mean they can solve the entire U.S. military. You have to prove that. And second of all, you committed Hitchens Razor because you didn't show proof that they can actually solve the entire U.S. military.
This should scale the Titans to 300 kilotons since they can permanently damage G-Man. Titan TV Man should be worth 2 Titans, so he should be 600 kilotons. And now we're reaching low small city level. So Juggernaut
This is another Hitchens Razor fallacy.
is above Titan TV Man, and G Man is above Juggernaut. So I think we're in low small city level by now.
This will just make him multi-city block plus level. Like, I do not know how you get that.
Now let's move to speed. So we see that G-Man can actually see detainer when he's moving at hypersonic speed, although he doesn't do anything until it's too late. So at best it's hypersonic reaction speed and not combat speed. So let's move on to something more concrete. So we see this tank fire beam that in one frame can cross about 3 stories, each story being about 3 meters, so 9 meters per 1/30th of a second. That's 270 meters per second, or subsonic plus. G-Man can actually react to this beam and actually move to dodge it. Let's use a projectile dodging formula. Okay, let's say that G-Man moved his own height, so 50 meters, and we multiply that by the speed of the projectile. Then we divide out of that by the distance from the projectile and G-Man, which let's say is about 10 meters, and we get supersonic plus speed. So they at least have subsonic plus speeds, which is consistent with their projectiles moving the the height of buildings in only 1 or less of seconds.
Yeah, you're just confirming my point that the laser beams and laser cannons are inconsistent as fuck.
Okay, now let's count G-Man's plasma beams. In 2 frames, they expand to half his height, so 45 meters. That's over 600 meters per second, or supersonic speed.
Didn't you literally just said that they move at subsonic? Also, the fastest literal toilet and also can react to the laser beams is only Mach 1.8, and that comes from the Astro Scorpion. I do not know how you get supersonic, and I'll personally debate you if you disagree.
So depending on your interpretation, Skibby Toilet is from high supersonic speed or low hypersonic, at least in reaction and combat speeds. Now let's talk about travel speeds,
High supersonic and low hypersonic are even a speed tier.
which they really shine in. Using warp speed, the Astros can cross the horizon in only 1 second. The horizon is 5 miles away from the POV of an average person. This is 8,000 meters per second, or hypersonic plus speed.
Okay, yet you actually have to show that they actually are stated to move across the entire horizon. Since you haven't, Hitchens Razor again.
Since the Astro toilets are aliens, they can probably accelerate to even higher speed.
You're just using non sequitur fallacy. Just because that you assume because of their high tech they can move faster doesn't mean anything.
For example, the mothership toilet bends light when it comes in from warp speed. If you reach light speeds, you actually bend light. So that makes sense scientifically.
Dude, you can literally just argue this is just teleportation. I mean, this is literally the most dumb argument I've ever heard in my life.
Bozo cried, go at the corner because we didn't follow your words. Anyway, bye.
Alright, overall, this man committed way too many Hitchens Razor fallacies and non sequitur fallacies. If you disagree with my takes, here's my Discord. I'll happily debate you and humble the living shit out of you.